Today we're getting into the prospecting funnel. What it's going to take for you to create a complete system to bring in clients on a regular basis into your business. So this is going to be a multi-part phase. You've got the prospecting that you're dealing with, bringing in those new customers, getting their attention, getting them to book a call with you, and then getting them to speaking to them on the phone and closing that phone call and the follow-ups. So I'm breaking this up into two parts, pillar 2 and pillar 3. We're just going to cover the prospecting portion of this strategy in the second pillar. So we're going to go over exactly what it's going to take to get in front of those individuals and get them to book with you. I'm going to be using Facebook for the purposes of this demonstration because it's what I use and it's what I would suggest that you use at least to try to start out. Most audiences can easily and readily be found on Facebook, although this strategy can easily work for you on LinkedIn, Reddit, Medium.com, or the myriad of other social platforms that are available to you. So Facebook, there's something like 2 billion users that are using it on a frequent basis. But what's great about it is that they're promoting their Facebook groups. So they're making it easier for people to come together upon common pains and solutions and niches and that sort of thing. For you to be able to get in front of those individuals in groups is super easy and start providing value and communicate with them in an effective way. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this on Facebook. But the overall strategy, the 30,000 foot view that I'm going to show you today, you can easily move to any other platform and repurpose it. So let's go ahead and dive in. Detach yourself from this process. It's going to be a long process for you. So detach yourself completely from the sale and enjoy the process. Prospecting for clients on Facebook is going to feel like you're constantly starting over and over again. So I want you to block out a portion of your time every day in order to implement this strategy, and don't put yourself on the spot on a regular basis. That means don't be trying to create content in the moment. Otherwise, your content is going to be really low quality and it's not going to get you the kind of clients that you need, and you're going to feel like you're always fighting uphill. So prepare your content days in advance, a week in advance if you need to, so that you can stick to the schedule that I'm going to show you how to do. So the first thing that you want to do is attraction marketing. You've already found the groups in pillar 1, and you've made sure that everything about your marketing and your empathy map and your offer matches those groups, right? So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be posting content into group. Let me share with you some of the content that I've posted. This is a cheating post. This is not something, this is a call to action. So I've been posting regularly in this group, but I finally wanted to take advantage of all of the nurturing that I've been doing in this group, so I'm posting a call to action. You don't get this opportunity to post call to actions like this in groups very often. You have to be very specific about which groups allow you to do this and which ones don't. So before you dive in and post a call to action like this, you want to be posting value. So before I posted my call to action post, I'm dropping value, okay, on a regular basis in these groups. Now, when you post value like this into these groups, what's going to happen is that you might not see a lot of engagement initially. There's a lot of people that are still coming in and reading your posts, even if they're not engaging with you. So what's going to happen is that they're going to click on your name and they're going to go view your profile. And that's when you get this opportunity to say something in your header image or say something in your bio. I've just hit the enter key on both sides of my bio here. You don't have to be super salesy at this point. Just get it across, something that you do. I see a lot of people posting nice pictures on their background. That works super well. The whole goal here is that you are working on getting people out of the groups and onto your personal Facebook page so that you can begin growing your friends and your followers on your personal page. After you get them onto your personal page out of the groups, now you can start posting information on your personal page about how to. So focus on the what and the why in the Facebook groups and the pains in the Facebook groups in order to capture the attention of your audience. Send them friend requests, get them onto your personal page, and then you can begin marketing the what, the why, and the how on your personal page to teach them what it is that you do and how you can help them in business. So this is where you'd be teaching them about your offer. And I'd also throw in some tags to certain individuals as well to get them to come back and read this information. So after you've been posting in groups for a bit, you can post a call to action. I like to do my call to actions like this because they are allowed in pretty much all groups. So I directly call out who my audience is and how the kind of audience that I am looking for that I can best serve. And all I say is, I would love to hear what you do. That is a great post to get you a lot of comments. Now, with your posting, if you're posting content like this here, which doesn't look like to get a lot of engagement, where I've got 8 people who have responded to this post, that's no big deal because you can always go back into your posts and comment on it again yourself. And all you have to do is literally that to bump your post, and it's going to end up on the top of the feed for this group again, and more people are going to see it. Here's all the groups along the top here that I've posted my call to actions in last night. Scroll to the top. So this group, I've got 185 comments. This one here, I've got 101, 109. And every one of my groups are like this, hundreds of comments. This one's 38. It's a small business. There's only 11,000 people in this. And it just goes on and on. Your groups really, your posts really get, when you do it right, get a lot of interaction. And so one thing that you want to be doing is going back and commenting on your posts, engaging with the individuals on your posts while in the groups to build real relationships with them. So I'll go actually open up their Facebook page and comment on their personal stuff. I'll make sure that they're an audience person that I want to work with. I'll like their comment and I'll respond to their comments. So as you can see here, I'll keep you in mind. I sent her a friend request. This person was not my audience, so I continued to move on. And going down, and then I'll ask them, can you send me friend requests? So here's what happens when you work this strategy. Not only do I get a lot of people accepting my friend requests, but I also not only do I get a lot of people accepting my friend requests, but as you can see, I have already gone through this list 3 times today before noon, accepting all of the friends on this list. I probably, if I hadn't touched this, I probably would have been somewhere northwards of 100 friend requests inbound to my own profile. And then after you get them to friend request you, obviously the goal would be to engage them in conversation. So just today, let me see here. If I can scroll down, just in the last hour, I've had all these conversations. And if you track me back till yesterday, so there's quite a few conversations that I've had between today and yesterday, or in the last 24 hours, really. All individuals that I'm booking meetings with on a regular basis, and basically getting them to engage with me and get on my calendar. So this is the simple process. As I mentioned, the first thing that you want to do is the attraction marketing. You want to go into those Facebook groups and be posting value. You want to post value on a regular basis. This is about consistency more than it's about trying to get some kind of reach. There will be hundreds of people that read your post, read your value post, learn from you, begin seeing you as a leader in your space, and they won't engage with you for some time. It takes between 18 and 36 touch points on individuals these days in order to get them to take action. So, what you're doing here is you're attracting all of these individuals to you by posting in groups. You need to be sending out 10 friend requests to individuals on a daily basis to be getting them out of groups and getting them into your personal profile. So make sure that you create an editorial calendar. I've got one for you that I'll show you later on so that you can be creating lots of content on a regular basis. There's specific things that you want to be talking about in the groups and specific things that you want to be talking about on your page. The last thing that you want to do when you get them on the phone call is to be selling them. You want to be positioned as a leader when you get them on a phone call where they're highly engaged and highly interested in what it is that you offer. So make sure that you're using the post on your personal page in order to engage them that way. And as you noticed from the chats that I had, I've got a program that helps me track where everybody is in that relationship nurturing. Make sure that you check the visibility on your posts so that you're not communicating with yourself all the time or just with your friends. The goal about posting in groups is to be seen as a leader and to be attracting your audience to you out of the groups. That's the goal. So, and the posts are about nurturing all of these individuals so that when you do eventually get them on the phone, they're ready to go. Because when you get them on the phone, as you know, as a closer, you don't want to be a salesman. You want all of the intent in the sales to be done ahead of time. You want these people super excited about working with you. So the empathy map that you created in pillar one is where you're going to be coming up with all your content for posting in groups and posting on your personal page. That's why you want lots of ideas in there, and you'll be creating lots of ideas as we go as well. Make sure that you go back to your posts, whether they're on your personal page or in the groups, on a regular basis. Go back to them every 4 hours, go back to them every hour, whatever it takes, and comment and engage with everybody that has replied to you on those posts so that you can boost the post back up to the top of the group and reach even more individuals. Remember, this is what I said about the organic marketing, where you're going to be where you want to be practicing your messaging. And this is where it comes into play. In your Facebook groups and on your personal page, you want to know what people engage with and interact with. So you're going to want to track all of your posts and track all of your messaging. It's like the comedian that goes into the stadium in front of 10,000 people and lands every single joke every time. You're not there yet running ads to land those jokes. You need to be going into the small pubs in front of an audience of 50 or 100 and posting your messaging, testing your messaging and your jokes ultimately in those groups so you know which ones really trigger your audience to react with you. And those are the messaging that you'll be using on your website and the messaging that you'll be using in your paid ads. So know exactly what it is that gets people to engage with you. Again, build real relationships and comment on all of your posts. So harvesting friends, I'll just touch on this real quick. That is the goal of posting in groups, is to harvest friends. If you're jumping from the groups to a messenger right off the bat, it's going to be a lot more work, and you could potentially get your account suspended if you're not very careful about how you go about this. So always ask permission when sending out friend requests. Remember, if you're trying to close one sale every week on your high ticket program, you're going to need about 20 calls a week. That's what the numbers come down to, especially when you're just getting started with sales closing. So you want to get 20 calls. In order to get those 20 calls, you're going to do about 5 calls a day, 4 or 5 calls a day is what you need to be booking. So I always block out about 6 hours to handle all my calls, give myself 30 minutes in between my hour-long calls. And in order to hit those, you need to be communicating with 20 people a day. on Messenger, 10 to 20 people a day to get those 4 calls. Okay. That's every day you need to do that. So this comes back down to how many friends are you harvesting? How many people are you messaging? So make sure you message at least or harvest at least 20 friends a day. So make sure that you've done the math so that you know exactly how many people that you need to communicate with on a regular basis in order to hit your numbers. Okay, posting on your profile. This is where you teach 10% of your program. Do not teach the keys to your program. This is super important. Don't be giving away the nuts that's going to bring everything together that people are missing. You don't want to be focusing on the positive either. You want to be focusing on the negative. You want to be bringing the pain to their attention. You want to be reminding them how difficult it is for them to accomplish whatever it is that you saw. You want to be teaching the opportunity portion of your offer. You don't want to be teaching how it is that you go about actually accomplishing this for them. So the 10% is the opportunity portion that we outlined in your offer crafting. After people see your posts happening in groups, if you do it properly, they will go look up every single page on your website, every video they can hunt down across the internet, and they'll read every post on your profile for years past. So you need to go through and clean up your personal profile, delete anything political or polarizing, update your bio and your featured images. It's okay to have family information and on your Facebook wall. That's perfectly fine. It shows that you're not a spammer. You want lots of pictures of your own face, of your family. You want lots of integrate your personal life, show them that you're a real person. This is all about building relationships. And that's ultimately what you're shooting to do for these individuals is build relationships with them, show them that you are a real individual. Update your profile often. Don't leave your personal profile image this stagnant forever. And post about your business. I know a lot of people don't want to use Facebook for business. That is not going to work. You're going to have to. So clean up your personal profile and post at least once a day. Be as consistent as you possibly can with this because remember, it's going to take you 18 to 36 mentions before somebody wants to reach out to you. Here's a bunch of post ideas as well. I've included this in the document so you can refer back to it. Okay, engaging with your prospects. Now, what I've just explained to you, posting in the groups and attracting people to you, getting the friend requests, posting on your personal page and getting people to engage with you, all of this is attraction marketing. It's bringing people to you. Engaging with your prospects is where we take this a step further and begin implementing outreach tactics coupled with our inbound tactics in order to really make this tactic shine. I'm not expecting you to build up a massive list of hundreds of thousands of followers before these people start buying from you. I'm expecting that you're going to reach out to these individuals and send them friend requests, reach out to these individuals and send them chat requests on a regular basis so that you can begin activating this audience that you've been nurturing and getting them on a phone with you. So engage with your prospects. You do that by chatting on their wall, posting comments on their wall, replying to all the comments on your posts, really engaging with them. And when you open up, the first thing that you're going to do to begin activating these individuals is reaching out to them through Messenger. Now, Facebook will suspend you if you reach out to too many people with friend requests that don't accept them, or too many people with messenger requests that send you to the spam folder. Okay? So when you're in your messenger conversations, you need to really either get permission before you send messenger conversations, or get them to open up the conversation with you, which positions you as a leader. In your messenger conversations, you never post your offer. You don't tell anybody your price. You don't try to do any selling in this, okay? And you certainly do not teach in your messenger conversations. Otherwise, you'll get trapped in this friend zone. If you need to be teaching anybody, send them back to your personal page. Post them, tag them in posts on your personal page. So what I'll do is when I in speaking to somebody that I feel needs a certain type of information, I will go write a post about the information that they need, and then I'll tag them in it. Or when I'm seeing somebody new, I'll tag them in a post that's months old that they need to listen to. And so in that way, I'm always reusing the information on my wall, just as I would my offer, where I'm sending back people back to work I've already done to train them on my wall, so that I'm not selling them. That way, I'm always positioning myself as a leader. So to get those 4 calls scheduled a week, make sure you're reaching out to 10 people per day that are your audience. The easiest way to do this is to go into the groups, find your friends in those groups, and reach out to those friends. That way you don't have to overcome the friend request and the messenger conversation in one go. Okay, this is a really good strategy that I add into the mix of posting that positions yourself as a leader and really begins to accelerate your success. Commenting on posts, on your posts, but more importantly, commenting on others' posts is the most important thing that you can do to make this entire strategy effective for you. When you go find posts that you can play the devil's advocate for, or you can provide a ton of value to, and you do so, people will reach out to you like crazy. So going and posting on 10 other people's posts a day in all of your groups, whether you're posting actively value or not, is really going to get people to start sending you lots of friend requests and getting people to reach out to you over Messenger immediately to see if you can help them. And the best way that this works is by posting results, whether you're posting value post results or commenting value or commenting results comments onto posts. People really love to see those results of how successful you are. So refer to your own success, refer to the success of your clientele, that sort of thing, and you're really going to get people to coming to you in droves. I use a couple helpful resources here to style my group or my comments, make them bold. These things here kind of are Easter eggs that you click on them and they dance around on your screen. Creating content ahead of schedule is what's going to make this feel like a business for you. And it's going to make it feel like it's an actual prospecting system that you're not fighting. So make sure that you maintain your editorial calendar. Make sure that you're creating the kind of content that is needed in order to get people to move down the buyer's journey towards you and to learn why you're the best person for the job. So remember that prevailing knowledge, the unique selling proposition, those sorts of information are going to get people coming to you. In the Facebook groups, you can see them as unaware and problem aware. And then and sometimes solution aware. When they come to your Facebook wall, treat them as solution aware, treat them as niche aware and offer aware, where you're all, that way you're moving them down the sequence closer to doing business with you in the type of post that you're writing. When you create content ahead of schedule, you're going to feel as if you have a regular schedule of exactly what you know and need to do every single day in order to bring people to you. This way you can take your time creating content that's going to actually provide value and draw people to you. Otherwise, if you try to do it at the time of, you're going to feel like you're always restarting. You're going to feel like your content is never good enough. So just get that post out every day into those groups, onto your personal page. It doesn't have to be amazing. It's about consistency. The commenting is what rehashes your posts on a regular basis. So when you post these posts in the morning, or if you're getting it out last thing in the evening, that's fine. The posts will be approved for you, hopefully by morning. And then you just keep those posts active all day by tagging people, by replying to comments, and boosting the posts all day long to keep them on top of the groups. That's how you get the major engagement. When you receive more engagement, Facebook awards you with even more engagement. And so make sure you're keeping your posts active all day long. All right, what not to do. Facebook will ban you and or suspend you for great lengths of time if you violate their policy and if you become a spammer. One thing that you'll notice is that spammers will open up a message with you. You have no idea who they are. It's completely unsolicited. And they'll send you their offer immediately. They'll tell you what they do. You do not want to act like that spammer. Stay away from that. So don't go sending unwanted messages or unwanted friend requests. Now, I did say send out 10 to 20 friend requests a day, but you don't want to be sending unwanted friend requests. So make sure you're talking to these individuals. You're wanting to make a real connection with them and see how you both can help each other. That's a great way to phrase it. And then say, hey, can you send me a message or send me more information over Messenger, which is a natural way to get that friend request as well. You don't want to be sending friend requests that go unanswered. That's the goal here. So even if they're wanted, you don't want them to go unanswered. So you want to be going back to those individuals and say, hey, you haven't responded to my friend request yet. I'd love to get you into my network and follow you. Same with messages. Ask them, can I send you a message? Can I interact with you? Can I send you something? A great way is to do lead magnet posts where you're saying, hey, I have this checklist. Does anybody want it? Send me, post what's up in the comments. And then you reply to them and say, hey, awesome. I've sent you a friend request. Go ahead and send me a message when you're ready for me to send you the link. Those are great ways to get the unstated authorization to connect with them. Also, I never send my links over Facebook anywhere at all, ever. I've had Facebook ban me too many times and I've had to rebrand. So I've got domains that are permanently banned. So I don't send my links over social media really at all unless they are explicitly requested. And I don't preface with a request. If it's a lead magnet, I don't send them to my domain. I send them somewhere else. Or I email them. I'll get their email and send them the link. So do not post promotions in groups. Now, there's two ways to think about this. You are not only being moderated by Facebook, but you're being moderated by group admins. And every single group that you go into will say, don't post promotions in here. So get creative. That's why I posted these posts. I posted in these groups that were saying, hey, I'd love to connect with you. That's always acceptable because it's networking, but it's never acceptable to say, I can help you do this, unless the group is geared towards that, or the group is full of spam and you have to cut through that spam. I like those groups too. They work totally fine for me. I get business out of the spam groups and cut through as well. It's a great excuse for me to say, hey, let's continue this conversation over Messenger so we don't have to deal with all the spam. And it allows me to post straight up call to actions in the spam groups that I don't get blocked for. So, but there are some groups that are super effective. If you're a female, there are female entrepreneur groups that are 500,000 in size where you can go pay $100 a month to do Facebook Lives and open promotions in the group. Those are fantastic opportunities for you. I've even had some group administrators make me a co-administrator or a moderator so that I could help them with the group. And that's for those groups that are getting a little bit of spam. I'll report a bunch of spam and try and move up in the world. That works as well. Those are all ways to get to a point where you can start be posting promotions, but don't lead with a promotion or you will get banned. And do not introduce yourself or your offer in Messenger. This is super important and super spammy. As soon as you do that and hey, great, thanks for connecting. I'm a business specialist. I'm a business consultant and here's how I can help you. People will not even respond to you. And Facebook will track that as a negative against your respond ratio, and eventually you'll get spammed, okay, blocked. So don't lead with your offer. That's the kind of stuff you want to talk about either in the messenger or in your page to groups, or talk about your offer um, on a phone call. Okay, I touch on my offer in Messenger, but I never really go into detail about it. I just say, oh, yeah, I help people do this. And I'm always talking about the desire. You can start to feel out the energy in these groups when you start. When you start going through the messenger, and you can start feeling the energy shift. So I always just call it out and return it. I'm like, hey, I feel like I'm starting to sell you. I don't want to do that. Let's talk about this. Okay, so I always like to turn it around. Always get permission. It's a great rule of thumb. Make sure that before you send a message, ask. Before you send a friend request, ask. Before you send a link, ask. Any of those sorts of things, just make sure you're doing what the other person would like you to do, and you're not forcing yourself on that individual. So these are all just good rules of thumb. Okay, so let's talk about what this kind of looks like again. This is just a little image I created for you. The groups are cold groups. Treat them as such. Attract individuals by targeting pain and problems, because this is the problem unaware and problem aware. You want to get and send lots of friend requests to get your audience on your page. You want to have 5,000 highly focused audience members that are engaged with you, learning about you, and want to do business with you, that you're nurturing. That's what your personal page is about. And then you have Messenger. So you do a little bit of opening up Messenger with the groups, do a lot of it opening up Messenger with your friends. So if you want to do a lot of Messenger conversation with your friends, that means you need a lot more friend requests to grow your friends list. Do so accordingly. Okay, daily tasks. Post in groups daily. Doesn't have to be the same group every day. I like to post in groups every other day. Some groups I post in once a week. Remember, group sizes matter. Can the group support how many times you're posting? And how many people? I like to track mine to see where my sales are coming from, and I focus on those groups more often. Engage with your prospects on their wall and in your own posts. Make sure that you're building real relationships with all of these individuals. And third, harvest friends from all the groups, because when you get kicked out of those groups, you're going to want to have collected all the friends that are warm to you. Okay. I always open up a comment conversation or a reply conversation before I send a friend request. Comment on other people's group posts. That's a super important part of the strategy. Getting out there, positioning yourself as a leader, always, and posting on other people's groups. I try to take an opposing view on their post to really try to get people to think about what they're asking. And I'll do leading questions. So, for example, somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a website. They'll get flooded with 300 vendors saying, I can build a website, I can build a website. It's overwhelming and the person can't respond. When I post, I'll post something like, do you have your brand script ready? And that piques an interest like, oh, what's a brand script? Well, naturally, I have a lead magnet to help them craft a brand script. So I can say, oh, before you dive into a website, you should really dial in your brand script so that you can tell your web developer exactly what kind of website that you want, and you know that it's going to generate business for you. I've got a workbook that can help you accomplish that. Do you mind if I send you, would you like it? And they're like, oh yeah, I love it. So I send them a friend request. They accept. I send them a message and start the conversation again. And then I say something like, hey, before I've got multiple versions of this. Do you mind if I ask you some questions so I know which one to send you? Right? And so then I get them on the messenger conversation direct from groups. So use the group, the commenting on other people's posts. That is a very effective strategy. Comment on your own posts. So this is the strategy to reboost, re-engage your own posts on a regular basis so that your posts are always on top of all the groups, on top of in people's feeds on a constant basis. So always go back, re-engaging and carrying on long conversations. Be somebody that um, replies to every single post in an open loop kind of way. So I post in groups every other day. So I do zero point 0.5 per group per day. Okay. Engage with others. Like this is unlimited. Harvesting friends. Try to do 20 friends a day. Comment on other people's posts. I try to do 10 of these a day. Comment on your own post. This is unlimited. You do that constantly all day and create more content. I'm creating about 4 to 6 pieces of content a day. It's a lot of content. This is where having a helper that knows your empathy map works in your favor. Oh, and I also want to be putting on here. So start about 10 messenger conversations every single day.